InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. Sorry, I'm a little slow today, but the moon herself is in the season of Scorpio today, so our feelings are going to be deep into the depths of transformation. And in doing so, there's going to be this degenerative or a generative force that comes as a tool for spiritual growth. Where Scorpio season is in our natal chart or our solar alignment, our solarity, that's where this growth might also appear. But being that we are in the season of Pisces, a fellow water sign, this is really going to add to the spiritual essence. So with that, welcome to the Daily Snippet. I am your host, a practicing holistic Sha'medium and a subtle energetic surgeon, merging what I would coin the indigenous technologies, the spirit of the Dagara tribe in Burkina Faso, with the subtle energies and elements and the elemental beings, basically the elemental realm into the imaginal realm. So I have offerings, rituals, and prescriptions to assist you in your container into your personal mojo, I guess. But my intention is really to merge these indigenous, excuse me, my eye is just going crazy, merging the indigenous technologies with the subtle realms, the etheric highway, to assist you into navigating your prime directive, your inner genius, just reintroducing you to and through the magical being that resides within you. So with all of that, goodness gracious. My name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you haven't already, please be kind and do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tonya D. Hit the bell button so you're notified. I almost said my Musing with Tonya D podcast. But also, if you don't mind, like my videos so the YouTube algorithm echoes out and suggests me to like-minded musers in the galactic corridor. Being that in human design, I am a reflector. It really is all about the moon for me. The moon, the goddess herself. It's in the season of Scorpio, the later degrees of Scorpio. That's where my moon resides. But my gifts are filling into the outer realms, if you will, and add reflector, the mirroring part to that juice. So I really actually need to keep my garden clean and just holding compassion and faith in these emotional thread lines and often feeling the pain body of those near or even far. But with the moon being in Scorpio today, it's our harmonics in the season of Pisces, our spiritual karma or debt, positive or negative. But today is really a day to dive into our emotional frequencies and respond in kindness or even compassion. The innate nature of our emotions, to feel them is to heal them. So we can learn from them. They should really be our spiritual allies, like a force to add to our dreams, our purpose. I recently, actually it was yesterday, I shared insight into the realm of dreams, and being that we are in a fire year in the Dagara cosmology, and fire is one of those assets in the realms of dreams actually. But I shared the power of emotions to my sacred circle, those that have purchased an offer or really any offer in my corridor, not to be really too choosy in there. But at the moment, like right now, I have an offer in the corridor for Soliciting Solitude. It's the nature of our inner world to meditate, to be sure to check that out. It's from beginner to into the realms. And I host all of my meditations in Soliciting Solitude. So it's this ever-growing continuum. It's only 66, down from the 111, 111, or the elves, 11. But the messages from the galactic universe today, the sacred circle, I went with the elementals. And first up, we have the Journeyman. He's part of the She clan, if you will, the clans of the realms or our inner genius of the beings that reside there. They are the nurturers. They build the worlds. They're creating. They're craftsmen. They're really assisting us, whether it's a guardian or a comforter or even as teachers. But they are the old ones. But the Journeyman is the adventurer. He's independent. He's polishing up the skills, the ability to travel, and just stepping out of our comfort zone, going off of our path. And really, all the great ones step off of the path to journey into these spiritual realms, into the wilderness, off of a safe path, into the hands of the gods and the goddesses. But the journey of life that really begins sometimes with ignorant trust. So passing through all the doubts and the fears and the ups and the downs and probably all of the delusions and the confusions as well. So it's actually through this process that we learn sometimes painfully, oftentimes, a new kind of trust and just trusting in the process, detaching from the goal. But our little journeyman, he is stepping out on the path and he's going with this optimism, positivity, and he's just enthusiastic. And his toes are even sparkling with the magic that resides within him, even though he's not yet achieved his mastery. But to accomplish this, we all need to leave the protection of the master and kind of step out onto our own path as an independent journeyman. Just testing ourselves and the knowledge in the world, or the knowledge of the world. So in hopes to really eventually achieve the status of being a master maker. So at this moment, you might be feeling like you know a lot of facts. You might really have the basics, but you probably know a little less than you think you do, maybe. So it's all about learning about the skills of survival. It's bartering, persuading, selling, buying wisely, enjoying life, and even making galactic friends or new friends. Hopefully we still have that playful, childlike wonder, those qualities, as we balance the ball on the stick with the moon and add what seems to have zero constraints as we're moving along, setting no boundaries on what we can do, and knowing, because we are magical, we shouldn't be setting limitations on ourselves, being able to walk on air or on water or through the hills, or with the moon balancing both on the stick and also in the sky, just learning to really take care of ourselves. So no one is really looking over our shoulder to see what we do or what we do right, or that we're eating right or working right or whatever that looks like. But taking chances in even making some mistakes sometimes, right? We all do. So this is honestly how we learn. So I don't think anything's a mistake or a failure. It's just a learning curve. And it's like comforting and being comforted by the real world and discovering that excuses really don't buy the bread, the quality, integrity of our work or actions, or honestly what counts, but also being well taught and pretty well, just knowing this already, or hopefully we do, right? Or we're getting there. So here we see this innocent being walking trustfully out into a situation for which he's not fully prepared. And indeed, maybe he can't be fully prepared, or for which his preparation is kind of untested by reality. So he is innocent, right, of previous practical experiences of the path that he's now treading waters upon, or the realm of life into what he's moving into, also known as innocence encounters reality, which is by no means a bad thing, and knowing that our fairy godmother is also working somewhere for us, just kind of out of sight, or as a fairy godmother usually tends to do. They're always on the sidelines, but I'm sure her expression is both excited but also worried, right? And her hair is probably whiter than white before the journey began. So she's just kind of keeping her wand charged fully. And even though this is his journey, he must undertake himself as well. It's almost like everybody needs and is given a little fairy godmothering from time to time. So it's like this good-natured innocence kind of attracts fairy guardians, and it attracts helpful beings on all planes and in all worlds. But it may also attract those who would abuse the innocence. But as long as our intentions are good, our guardians are going to offer us the guidance. So we're kind of blessed, we're cared for if we allow ourselves to be, and the world is actually before us. It's optimistic, it's cheerful, it's magic, and all these juiciness as we grow within us. So when we step bravely out into the unknown, the abyss, just developing our potentials, our hope, our optimism, our open heart. However, our little journeyman is actually otherworldly. So this is an energy that might be blocked. We might be feeling unable to move forward. There could be two reasons actually for this. It may be that this journey is kind of inappropriate at the moment. It might be delayed until certain conditions are met, or it may mean that we are delaying ourselves with our own fear. So if you are satisfied with the journey, that it's in the right direction for you, it's kind of a message to prepare for it carefully, prepping. And once we've done so, we can just go for it. Just waiting will not make it easier if it is just fear holding us back. So take a long kind of sip from the chalice of courage and step out boldly. Kind of twisting this energy can involve pretending to ourselves that we are in fact moving forward, taking a dozen inappropriate paths in order to avoid the one true path. So the name of the game is kind of distraction and misdirection. Both are kind of false magic that gets us nowhere. And at worst, this can suggest or even indicate an inappropriate journey. But with all of that, I've got to run. I'll be back online to finish the rest of the snippet. And As always, I'll see you on the other side.